Hi guys.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you doing?
Good.
Wow, how you doing?
Before we go into the new album, what is the best thing that happened since the release of your debut album? I think in April 2012.
Yeah, that's right. April
What's the best thing if you recollect now your memories 4 years ago?
I think one of them, there's been a lot of great things. One of them is, I think, the sheer amount of albums we've sold. I think the amount of people that responded to the whole album is such a huge feat, and that's something that every artist wants. You want to be paid attention to. Any artist that tells you different is probably lying. So I think we're really proud of the music, and a lot of people heard it, so it's a huge win.
And you said, well, every artist would like people to hear their songs. What was for you the most important thing that people said about your songs, about your music?
I think it was people. They didn't really say it; they more sung it. But hearing from the start to the finish, every song being sung with us, you could tell that a lot of fans, most fans who were coming to shows, knew the album front to back. And I think that just having that reinforced live in every country, somewhere like as far away as Japan for us, or South Africa, or in a place like Mexico City where they were chanting for a big parade or something like that. You have a lot of I think that's what's a powerful thing to realize, that this music has not only reached people around you in the United States, but it's gone all over the world, and our tour just kept continuing because of it, which delayed the second album being written. But it was I guess a fortunate problem to have.
And when you wrote the songs, in hindsight, were the songs that you wrote and you thought, well, I really like those songs, did they resonate the best with the people, or were there maybe different songs that resonated more or differently?
Well, trying to think. Well, we chose songs that were our we felt like we were super excited and happy about on each record. And with the first one, I think that worked out because we had to live with it for 3 years, and it would have been pretty insane to try to do that for 3 years on songs that we didn't feel really connected with and weren't I think we felt like they were our babies, that like we didn't have a favorite, so it would always be weird when someone would be waiting for one song or something like that. So we tried to do that again on the second record because we knew what it felt like to tour on music we cared about on the first one, and so it did put a pressure there to have it from front to back be something we knew we would care about for a long time.
When was the first song written on this new album?
I guess it was finished in probably as early as January or February of last year. So Ophelia, the first single, kind of poetically was the first song done in the writing process, and that to us I think felt like a cornerstone song. Like it was the first step in the right direction. We could understand maybe this new aesthetic or this new album in more specific terms. Like there's an artifact, you can hit spacebar and listen to what a new Lumineers song sounded like. That helped me a lot, giving me a compass and sort of a little bit more direction.
How did the song come about?
Well, we had the chorus for like a few years, but no verse really. It just had this like snippet, this little random, beautiful chorus that we knew was strong, but without a verse, it's gonna collect dust. And we didn't also have time to work on it, so we really started to work together on all these songs, but especially that one in the writing process, right?
Yeah.
The house we rented in Denver in early 2015. And
yeah, it was something that Jer had come up with on piano that is that really easy to identify hook, that melodic thing. And then the whole song was written in this sort of, the piano was really kind of this foundation, but then the lyrics were just kind of sung haphazardly over it, and they seemed to stick really fast. It wasn't, some lyrics you spend weeks or months or even years on, and then this one, it just felt like a lot quicker once those things were established. So it's a very like piano centered song, obviously, but there's not even a guitar on it, which is pretty unique to what we would typically do.
And the chorus, the lyrics, were they already written a few years ago?
I think so.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. I remember being in the back of clubs after we'd finished sets and just be playing that, and I'd be singing that over Jared playing piano. So, yeah.
And then those lyrics were written a few years ago. Can you still recall what triggered that lyric back then?
Just felt right.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember trying to change it because I didn't like using Ophelia because I like the band, and the band has a really great song called Ophelia, and it's so iconic to me that it just felt absurd to try to use that name again, or sacrilegious or something.
Yeah.
And then the more we tried to change it, to some other name or some other sound, I realized that what the power of that was that it began with that O sound, and it had an O-E, ah. That was really the visceral quality of it, more than it was a specific name. So despite our best efforts, we couldn't really change it once we had sung it enough times. It just sounded stuck.
And did you know what the song would be about?
No.
And what triggered that story?
It was more of a, I think we've sort of worked out what it may be about, but it was, some of the songs I can tell you exactly what it's about and what I was intending on doing. And with that one, it was more of here are some, signals and ideas in my head that just seemed to be pouring out during the demo process. And then that, they were eventually used because I thought they sounded really just right. They sounded like they fit. And normally I would change it just to feel like I was telling a very specific story, but it felt like it was already doing that without trying to. Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, it sort of was dealing with this idea of dealing with how success that we experienced was complicating a lot of things and kind of taking us away from maybe ourselves in a weird way. I felt disconnected, like split into two people. And I remember being on stage at times and feeling like I could watch myself. I was somehow floating above watching myself because it was we had done it so many times. It was like like psychotic to play that many shows and
Was it a good feeling?
No, it was like a feeling of I'm losing something here, And I think I was really missing what got Jer and I into music, which was songwriting and recording. So it was a pretty eerie feeling, like maybe we'll never make another record again, I don't know, because we had just gone on so long on the same music that it's almost like you're wondering, have we just lost our ability to write? We're performing over and over now.
Did you write during those years? I mean, even before you rented the house in Denver?
We tried.
Yeah, we tried. It was difficult. It was maybe some ideas would be born. Like there's one specific idea of In the Light. There's a sort of instrumental piano idea. It was written on the road. I think part of the last song, Patience, was written on the road.
Sleeping on the Floor was worked on.
Yeah.
A lot of it was worked on, like chipped away at. It's almost like this piece of granite.
The chorus, and you find yourself in the weirdest situations when you write something that you like. Like I remember the chorus chords, to my eyes, the second to last song, I wrote when we were in the album in the first studio. It's just you walk up to a piano, you have 3 seconds, and something pops out, you remember it, you write it down, record it, then you don't think about it, and then Wes finished the song, and it's like, oh wow, so it's really kind of random, and just keep the good ideas and constantly go back to a piano, even if it is for a brief moment.
It was kind of funny. We tried to record formally, like set up a recording studio in each venue, and we did that. It was it's like a mobile recording rig that we had, and we ended up recording so much more on our little phones, the voice memo, than we'd ever record in that kind of pressurized environment. So we ended up scrapping that eventually. But it was, I think we really intended on being productive or continuing to write, but the schedule that we were on was pretty grueling at times. So, I think I just felt so much in a weird way, appreciation for the artists who can do it, because it's very hard to summon up that energy and that creative mindset while you're just, for us, I think we were just fighting just to kind of survive it and be ready for the show. And so that was probably, at that time, too much for us to do.